So what's up, guys? Today I've got a battle against my friend derek420phareal. His link will be in the description, so you should go and check him out. He's really great. Now, it's a 5th gen match, and we are using pretty fair teams. We're not, usually no one has more overpowered Pokemon than the other person, which is basically how I only play 5th gen. Now that the tiers are established, I mean, this battle is before the tiers came out, so we just used a bunch of random shit. And I guess you can call it a UU battle with a couple of exceptions. So anyway, he's going to lead off with his Donphan, and I'm going to lead off with Venomoth. And I didn't really have anything else on my team that I wanted to lead with that could take this Donphan, so I just led with Venomoth. And I know setting up right away is a bad move, but in my case, it actually kind of worked out for me. So I knew he'd go for Stealth Rock's first turn, so, it's basically just a free Quiver Dance. And he's going to go for Ice Shard here, and that was a horrible move on his part because it's going to cost him his Donphan, because this Bug Buzz is going to bring him down to his Focus Sash, Sturdy. Well, it basically is a Focus Sash, but whatever. And if he went for Earthquake there, I'm assuming he thought I was part Flying type, or I had the Levitate ability, because, this thing is floating up in the air, and sorry about my screensaver. And, yeah, so he just goes for Ice Shard this turn, and it's going to do pitiful damage, basically nothing, as I just go for Bug Buzz and finish off his Donphan. So that exchange worked out pretty well for me because I have a +1 special attack, +1 speed, and +1 special defense. And he just brings in Hitmontop, and I know he's going to go for Fake Out, but I don't really want to switch out at this point. So, because I'm +1 in almost all my stats, and he goes for Fake Out, and it really does nothing to me. So I am able to get off my Psychic, which is awesome. And he didn't think I had Psychic because most people actually have Sleep Powder instead of Psychic. But I have Psychic for that extra type coverage. Just to be safe for fighting types like this. And he's gonna kill me off with the Pursuit. He lives that because he is especially defensive, which he told me after the battle, so it was kind of unfortunate, but it's not really that big of a deal. So I just bring in my Nidoking, and I know it's pronounced Nidoking, but I've always pronounced it Nidoking, so yeah. And I just go for Ice Beam, thinking he might switch into his Rotom, to get the Levitate if I went for an Earthquake or something. But that's not the case, and he just brings in his Raikou here, and I'm fearing this guy is Scarfed because he thinks I'm Scarfed as well, but I'm actually Life Orb, because Life Orb, or Sheer Force, takes away the Life Orb recoil if you're using a move that, Ice Beam, has a chance of freezing. So he just goes for Extra Sensory, which is kind of weird because you don't normally see that on Raikous, but he goes for it, and it does nothing to Jellicent. And he's just going to go for Discharge, which I found really weird because if he had Thunderbolt, that would have ended up killing me, because as you see, I lived that with 58 HP, and if he went for Thunderbolt instead of that, I would have died, and then he wouldn't have gotten Toxic, and he could have potentially got off a sweep, maybe, because if he set up a few Calm Minds, my next Pokemon could not have, come in safely to revenge kill him. So this turn, he's going to predict my Nidoking, switch in to maybe save my Jellicent, but it's kind of worthless to me at this point. And he's going to get the crit with that Extra Sensory, which actually might have mattered a little bit, because if he got minimum damage there, I might have been able to live that. But it really didn't matter, because all I would have went for is Shadow Ball, and that wouldn't have done a whole lot anyway. So I'm just going to bring my Hydreigon here and just go for that Draco Meteor. He has nothing on his team that can take a Draco Meteor safely with switching in, so he's just going to let his Raikou die. He was actually going for Hidden Power Fighting. He said, I told him he could actually learn Aura Sphere, and he just wasn't thinking when he salved it. So I'm thinking right now he's going to go for Dragon Dance, so I'm going to switch into my Zoroark, thinking I might be able to outspeed him still, but it just goes for the Ice Punch, and now I do reveal that I am a Zoroark, which he was really happy about because he didn't want the Zoroark coming in later and surprising him and taking out a Pokemon. But Zoroark is probably the most worthless Pokemon on my team at this point. So I'm just going to bring in Hydreigon here and obviously go for the Draco Meteor, as he just goes for Aqua Jet, I believe. Yeah, he just goes for Aqua Jet. And that's going to do pitiful damage because he has no boosts, and I do resist that. So he does more damage to himself than he does to me, but so I'm just going to go for Draco Meteor, and that's going to take out the Feraligatr with a crit, which it didn't matter unless he was HP EVs and special defense EVs, which is obviously not the case because it's a Feraligatr. And he switches in Victini, and his name is V is for ... and obviously V is for Victini. What else would it be for? Come on now. So I bring in Cacturne in here as he goes for V-Create, and I just went into Cacturne as Death Fodder because obviously Choice Band is obvious, and he just goes for V-Create, and that is going to take out Cacturne. No question about that. So now he's a humongous setup fodder, so I can just bring in any Pokemon and set up on him if I want. Obviously he's going to switch, but I don't do that. I just switch into Hydreigon, knowing that I can go for Draco Meteor. With the -2 special defense, he's not going to be able to take that, and his Victini is going to go down. Which is awesome, because Victini is a huge threat on his team for me, actually. Because he can probably one-hit KO this Hydreigon with, like, one V-Create, even if I was at full HP. So he brings in his last Pokemon, Black Blastoise, I believe, because he's Mexican and this is a lawnmower, so, I see what he did there. But he's just going to go for the Shadow Ball for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe that was his only good move he had. But he ends up getting a crit with Nidoking, and I could have lived 2 of those and went for Ice Beam and killed him. But that is not the case, but it's not really the end of the world, because I can just bring in Hydreigon and Fire Blast him to death, because I do resist that Shadow Ball, and that Shadow Ball is really going to be doing nothing to me, or like max special attack or not. And I don't miss my Fire Blast, which is pretty damn awesome, and that Fire Blast is going to kill that stupid Lawnmower Rotom guy. So good game, Derek. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment if you liked it. And if you'd like to battle me, if you're bored, you want to battle, just send me a PM, and I will probably reply to you in battle. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and see you guys next time.